Okay, this video is reflecting on the approaches that we have to review the data. So this is our high-level dashboard reflecting on IEP process family survey results. So we have been running this process in its current state for last year and this. Last year we had 2,524 responses. So far this year we've had 2,262. So we're on trend to at least meet the last year's number. The information on this page is broken down and filterable in multiple ways, and I'm going to go through it fairly quickly. So 1617 and 1718. So in this dashboard, as we're reviewing it, we have the ability to recontextualize the data according to multiple measures. So for example, if I want to just reflect on 2017 only, I can click that one and it will identify just the time frame in question. So looking at both years together, the average score out of 72. So if someone said everything was strongly agree, then the score would be 72. So 63.5 is our average score for 1718. 63.3 was the 2-year average, and last year was 62.9. That would suggest that we've had a slight increase in the average rating to date, and part of that is due to some strategic learnings we've had from some of the feedback. Then this measure, let me unselect. This measure is the overall experience. So when you are thinking about the filling out of the survey, the last question asks you to kind of say your experience from 0 to 10 with special school district for this year. And the overall experience as an average is 8.5 out of 10. Several other dimensions that we can do if we wanted to reflect on responses where the student's eligibility area is in autism. So we've had 400 and some odd responses each year for that, and the response overall is not quite as strong. It's a little bit lower for the responses as it relates to autism. And then so that allows us to do this data walk through these multiple measures. Additionally, we can also recontextualize an individual district's responses, and even identify a particular keyword which is occurring. So in this, the larger the word, the more frequently it is mentioned in the written feedback that's given. So if I were to select the word wonderful, the word wonderful is mentioned 27 times this year, and in these locations, and these were the response parameters for those times. Now, additionally, the trend on average response for each of those items that were in the survey allows us to review this and determine whether we have an area for improvement or an area that is doing well. So I'm going to reset the filters, and then I'm going to move down. So these are comments that were left, and the number next to is the experience measure. So in this case, the person typed the feedback, I have none, and said that their experience with SSD was 10 out of 10. This one says they're a wonderful team. We can't thank them enough for their dedication to Will's success, and also rated a 10. This was an opportunity one. I would like his case manager to be more engaged in the meetings. So here we were given some honest feedback of an experience gap where the family reported some experiences that they would like to be different. This is just telling us how many responses are occurring over time. Another area of data collection that we've been investigating and working through is these key drivers for score. So the higher up the on the chart an area is, the more meaningful that number is in terms of its importance as it relates to the overall score. So if we look at something that's lower, it is probably less important. When we look at something that's higher, it is probably more important. So the same thing here on the experience. So which features from the survey are most aligned or misaligned with the experience that a family is having? So in this case, we have something that is very important and associated with a higher score. Things that are falling below this line are probably less correlated with the score that's achieved. So my child's case manager worked with me to establish a time. So that is important, but may not be very closely associated with a person's overall experience. So this is how this information, how we use this to kind of tell us where to focus and where to apply feedback to our teams and consider ways to improve our practices to better meet the needs of our families and students.